Welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers. And to start the show off this week, we're joined by the head coach of the soccer team, and that's Coach Jason Hamilton. And the soccer team has just continued with their streak of wins. They are now 8 in a row, and it's got to be a great momentum builder to go into the conference season, having won 8 straight non-conference games.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit exceeding our expectations that we thought coming into the season.
Right.
Being a new staff and players having to learn a new style of play, and the credit goes to the players. Each and every week they've improved. We've given them a game plan, and they go out and execute. A tougher weekend than we would have thought it was looking on paper, but it just showed great character with our team to battle to get 2 more wins.
And you were down in Mobile over the weekend for a tournament held by South Alabama, and you took on Francis Marion on Friday, and you picked up a 3-1 win. What was that game like?
Yeah, I think it was a game that kind of, we knew we were gonna be the better team going into it, and we talked about not being complacent, having six wins in a row, and being at a neutral site where it's not the greatest atmosphere. I think 4 o'clock game, so not a ton of fans there in the heat of the day. So we didn't play as good as we wanted to, but I think looking at the stats, we pretty much dominated in everything. Like 9-1 in corners and tripled them in shots. So it was a game that we were head in hand. But it was a game that gave a lot of players some time to get some minutes, and we were able to use some more bodies and stay fresh for Sunday.
And then you got the day off Saturday, played Sunday against North Florida, picked up a 1-0 victory in double overtime into that second overtime. Another game winner by Alyssa Jones. So it was a good victory to end the non-conference slate.
Yeah, absolutely. Alyssa got the game winner on Friday and Sunday, so she now leads the country in game-winning goals. So that's a great thing to have on your team. But just a really good all-around effort. We had told the team we watched North Florida play South Alabama on Friday, so we got to get a scout on them being at the tournament. And they're a tough team, tough to break down. I think South Alabama beat them in, I want to say, the 85th minute, and it was pretty similar to our game. It was we led them in stats just like South Alabama did in just about every category. But they're just very tough and hard to get anything by. And it was a good again another good test of character for our group to get a win in double overtime. Last year they were 0-5 in overtime. Right. So players that are returning, when you saw that final whistle blow, you could see the look on their face of uh-oh, this is trouble. So again, a mental victory for us to get past another roadblock that was there in the past, and so they now know, hey, we're fit enough, we're smart enough, and we're capable of getting a game in overtime when we have to.
And you got to see South Alabama, who is going to be your next opponent. So not only got to scout South Florida for Sunday, but get a look at South Alabama in person. And what did you see from them? Yeah,
I mean, they're a very good team. They're defending conference champions, so they've building on that, and they're 8-2 as well. So we're both sitting at 8-2, 2 of the best records in Division I college soccer right now. So it's going to be a very good game. We've played similar opponents, so I think we've had 2 of the stronger schedules in the conference. So we've put ourselves up against some good competition to prepare for this. On the road, it's going to be a tough game. And we think we're going to be prepared, and we think we're very similar teams as far as talent-wise. So we're excited to go down there, and having been able to play down there and see them a little bit. So I think the momentum we have is great, and we're excited to get down there. And again, we're trying to load up some fan buses to go down there. So we're going to have some fan buses leave at 4 o'clock on Friday to go down there and hopefully make some noise down there and almost make it like it's a home game and see if that helps us out.
And something you talked about before the UAB and Jacksonville State game was how important it was not just to win the games, the non-conference games, but the in-state rivalries. Well, not only is this an in-state rival against South Alabama, but it's a conference game. So, how are you emphasizing that to players?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of a new season. This is what we it's great that we went 8-2, but none of that counted. Right. So we've kind of talked about that this is a new season. Every single game counts. If we can get off on a good start, and we have, of the 9 conference games, we're on the road for 5. Right. So we've had some success at home, and we want to protect that that home field advantage. Right. But we've got to find a way to get some results on the road. So that's kind of the big message is this is a new season. We've got to start fresh. We've got to be hungry, and we're not going to make any friends.
And all right, you said the fan bus. You're taking a couple buses, or hopefully a couple buses, maybe 3.
Absolutely.
What's the information about that again?
If they want to sign up, hopefully by the end of tomorrow, we want to have our list of who's going to go. It's open to all staff, students, anybody, fans that want to come. It's free, and they can sign up either emailing myself, which is hamilton@troy.edu, or they can email Coach DeMake as well. It's sdemake@troy.edu, and we'll get them out there and we'll get the information to them. Buses are going to leave at 4, go get down there right for the game, and head back after.
Completely free.
Completely free, and I'm even going to feed them on the way home.
So they get to go to the game, don't have to pay for gas money, the tickets to the games are free.
Tickets are free, yep. So everything's completely free, just come and support us.
That is perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, good luck this weekend, and hopefully you'll have a big Trojan support crew with you cheering you on.
Thank you.
All right, and stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're going to talk some about the cross-country team who competed over the weekend with the head coach of the cross-country team, and that's Elliot Blount. And Coach Blount, y'all's team went down to Gainesville over the weekend, competed against some big-name schools from around the Southeast. What was the competition like?
It's probably the best competition we'll see all season. You talk about from a national scale.
Right.
That and the Alabama meet we'll go to in about 4 weeks. But I think we performed the best we did all year from top to bottom. So.
And what was the course like? I mean, did it play out kind of like you expected, what you heard?
Amazing course. Beautiful facility they have down there, U of F. So it was well maintained. Very fast course. We ran some PRs. We had some kids, run some PRs, which is, very nice to see. But yeah, it was a great course.
Well, and it's got to be good to see as the season goes along that your team is progressing, that they're competing better and better. I mean, that's kind of what you want, especially as you get towards the conference championship.
Right. As we, now we're starting to get into, the meat of the training,
Right.
like I like to call it, and you start to see PRs at this point before we get into our tapering phase. So it is reassuring to see. I think they're buying in, and that's the biggest thing. Regardless of whether it puts them high on a national scale. It does wonders for us as far as kind of like building that type of culture, just getting better week in and week out.
Now you're off this weekend.
Right.
What do you expect to be working on as a team this week?
Well, our next competition is going to be out in Jacksonville, JSU, Jacksonville State. So right now we're just trying to figure out who's 5 to 8, and this week is going to be for the top runners. Could be something we train through, like we have been. But for those who are trying to make that conference squad, it's going to be what it is. It's your dress rehearsal. Let's get it going.
All right. Well, we'll preview that meet next week. But
Excellent.
Good luck on your training this week.
Thank you.
All right. And stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, as we're going to take our final look at the fall sports. We're going to talk some volleyball with the head coach of the volleyball team, Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick. And Coach, your team was busy last week. You played Wednesday, then Friday, and then again Sunday. 1 and 2 in those matches, and we'll start it off with the Georgia Southern game last Wednesday night. Your team lost that first game first set, battled back, and took home the victory. Just talk about that one.
We got off to a really slow start. Georgia Southern, we knew coming into the match was going to be really a good team. Despite their 0-9 record,
Right.
they had played 4 of the top 25 teams in the country early, and all the teams that they had played were inside the top 125. So we knew that it throw the record away, and they came out and they played really, really well. We made a couple little adjustments in between games, and luckily we came out with a little bit more urgency and managed to hang on and come back and play well to win the match in 4.
And then you took on UT Arlington. You actually traveled out to Arlington, Texas, on Friday to take on the Mavericks, and you lost that one in 5 sets. And we were just speaking beforehand, and every match you played against them has gone to 5 sets. So, I mean, you've played some tough matches. And what's the deal going on with it?
It's two evenly matched teams. They're a really good team. They play really well on their home floor. Went out and lost 19-17 last year, so extra points again. They're very resilient. They're a little different in the way they do things compared to other teams, and at points that throws a little bit of an issue. It's just like in football, going from a run and shoot or a tempo offense to the wishbone.
Right.
It just creates certain challenges that you have to be aware of and what situation you're in. We battled, we fought hard, had opportunities to win, and unfortunately didn't come through in the end.
And then Sunday back home, again taking on Appalachian State, one of the top teams around. They're a ranked team, and once again battled deep into the game, and you came out on the losing side. What about that match?
I was disappointed. We didn't come out with the sense of urgency, the desire when we were at home that we typically have to play. fell into an 0-2 hole, and we challenged the team. And I think we're pretty good when we compete. And we competed in sets 3, 4, and 5, and that was good to see. But when you put yourself in an 0-2 hole before you start competing like that, it's always a hard thing to do.
Right.
And they're number 29 team in the country. We had an opportunity to give them their first loss of the year, and unfortunately we didn't.
And what kind of positives did you take out of those 2 matches from Friday and Saturday, or Friday and Sunday? Is there anything you can emphasize to your players that, hey, you did this well, let's keep on working on this?
We found some things that we definitely need to work on in practice starting today. Also, it was the most challenging travel schedule of the year by far.
Right.
To be here on Wednesday, to go to Texas Thursday, Friday, to come home Saturday to play Sunday. The rest of the time, we don't have any trips like that. So for us, the benefit is that we had that challenging schedule, played well enough to potentially be 3-0. Unfortunately, we're not, but we're 1-2, and we've got to find a way to beat Arkansas State on Friday.
Well, and you get that opportunity Friday here again at home, Friday and Saturday. Just talk about those matches.
Again, 2 really good teams. So the one thing that I said earlier in the year is that our league there's so much parity in it that on any given night anyone can win. And Arkansas State and Texas State come in. Texas State's 2-0 going into their Thursday night match. Arkansas State's 1-1, and we've got to find a way to get at least a win on Friday. We're not going to worry about Saturday yet, but Friday night's a big one for us to try to get back to 2-2 in the league.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck, and hopefully you can pick up that victory on Friday night.
Thank you very much.
All right. And join us again next week for more on It's Tea Time.